This conference will now be recorded.
This is the third in a series of 4 videos for the PICO Evidence-Based Practice Library Lab, and this is for the fall 2023 semester. So this video is going to be on finding books, and to begin with is how to find the library. So if you're at the BC3 website, to get to the library, there's a link above the main heading screen right here in white. And if you click on that, you're almost there. This takes you to the Heaton Family Learning Commons, which is where we're located. Scroll down that just a little bit, and you'll come to where it says BC3 Library Online, and below that is a link to the library. And now this is being at the library. And I'm going to make this a little bit larger for you. Now at this point, for the PICO project, you should start by going to the nursing's subject guide. So we have subject guides for a lot of different academic areas. And if you click on subject guide right there, and if you scroll down the different academic subject guides, you'll get to nursing. And then this has a lot of different resources related to nursing and specifically for evidence-based practice. You'll notice that there is a number of videos in the first column, and then in the second column, you'll find resources for finding articles, resources for finding books, and resources for finding web resources. In the third column, you're going to find information APA style. This is a really nice video on APA style, different guides, different links for citing your sources, and then some resources related to evidence-based practice, such as the PICO presentation that I did before. And this is me, your subject contact, Jean Shumway. If you have any questions, if you need any help finding any resources, just email me. So now the thing that I'm going to look at right now is in the middle area, the different resources, and we're specifically looking at book sources. So book sources are good for background information. They often will not provide you a direct answer for your PICO question, but they can be helpful in other ways. They can help you become more familiar with your topic in a broader sense. They can help you understand your topic better. They can just give you some nice introductory information. So for that reason, we're going to look for some book sources. And we're going to start by looking at this collection called Nursing Made Incredibly Easy Collection. And this keeps popping up. I don't know why, but I keep saying accept them, and then it keeps popping up. So we'll just have to try to ignore that. So this Nursing Made Incredibly Easy is a collection of ebooks for nursing. And it's specifically Lippincott collection called Made Incredibly Easy. And I'm just going to put in a broad search. A lot of times when you're searching for books, it works better to use a broader search. So don't put in all your narrow search terms. Don't put in your PICO question. Think of an aspect of your question that's more broad. So if I wanted to search for, if I'm looking at pressure ulcers and looking at different ways, maybe at beds for caring for them, a broad way to search for them would just be putting in pressure ulcers. And I just click on search, and it brings up a number of books related to my topic. Here's one, and you can see the pictures of the books. This one's on wound care, this is on pathophysiology, this is on nursing care planning, this one's on assessment. If I'm looking at wound care, I might just try this wound care one. And you can see it's chapter 6 of the book. So obviously the whole book isn't on pressure ulcers. So that's one thing nice for you to know, is that usually it's not like you're reading the whole book, you're just reading a section of the book. And notice it gives you a nice definition, it gives you some good pictures of what pressure ulcers are, and then more information. So it gives you just a lot of nice background information about it and some nice images. So Nursing Made Incredibly Easy is a really nice resource for becoming familiar with different topics. Now, most of our resources will tell you how to cite them. This one does not. But you can find all the information you cited in here when you look at the book, or you can even just click on the title here, and that will take you to the information about the book. So here you can see there's the title of the book, it's the 3rd edition, and there's your author. All right, and it just needs to have the title, the date it was published. So I just clicked on copyright. I'll go back and do that again. Under this table of contents, if I click on copyright, that will give me your copyright date. And you also need, from 2016, you also need that, and who the publisher is, which is Wolters Kluwer. So that is all the information you need to cite that book. So that is, I'm just going to go over these pretty quickly. So that is the Nursing Made Incredibly Easy collection, and I highly recommend that. Then we have some reference sources. Salem Press and Credo Reference are both databases that have reference books like encyclopedias. And these are different than your, say, World Book or Britannica because they're specific for different topic areas. And I'm going to show you the Salem Press one. You can search this in a couple ways. You can just enter your keywords in there. You can filter it by different topic areas. So I could filter by health, or I could just scroll down and choose a book from the list to search. So I'm going to do again my pressure ulcer search for background information on pressure ulcers. And again, this comes up with, in blue is the title of the chapters from the books, and in black underneath it is the title of the book. So this is from Salem Health Nutrition, this is from a complementary medicine book, and this is from a general medical guide. And I'm going to pull up this one on nutrition related to pressure ulcers. So here's this chapter. If I want this, what you should do is print it. Saving it just saves it to Salem Press, and you'd have to create an account. That happens a lot of the time. If you use Google Drive a lot, you could save it there. But a lot of times if you print it, instead of printing it to a printer, just print it as a save as a PDF, and then you can save it and keep it. And I recommend doing that if it's a maybe, so you don't have to go find it again. So some of these things might, as you're searching along, think about yourself as berry picking. You're throwing them into your bucket, and then later on you can sort through the ones and find out which ones are the most relevant. But to save it to your bucket, one, print it, which means save it as a PDF, so print it as a PDF, and then get the citation. And as I said, most of our databases will show you how to cite the article. Look for a quote symbol or look for where it says cite, and if you click on that, you just need to choose APA style. For this assignment, Infos Nursing would use APA style. That stands for American Psychological Association. And then you just copy this, and then you open up your Word document. Oh, here we go. Pull it over here. And then you just paste that in there. And I would change this. Okay, so it's pasting it with your formatting, and look at how it's highlighted and underlined. I would paste it without that formatting, so you want just to have the text, and that will prevent having things like those highlights in there. Then what you want to do is, when you're all done putting these in, check them, because sometimes the databases don't have APA style quite right. They're close, but they're not quite right, so you need to get your the different resources that I gave you and check them to make sure they're right. So that's an example from Salem Press of an item. I'm going to close these out. And then the next thing to look at is books. So you could search the BC3 Library catalog for books, but since you are off campus, I'm going to say that you could go to eBook Collection or eBook Central, one of these two, and look for books. So that's another place you can go. So I'm going to show you eBook Central. And again, I'm going to put in pressure ulcers and see what I get in the book. So this is, again, this one has that same book, Wound Care Made Incredibly Easy, but you can see there's other books here on pressure ulcers, and I'm going to pull up this one. Notice there's a table of contents, and I'm going to look at, I could look at preventing them. So let's look at preventing pressure ulcers. And then I can just scroll down to page through this book. And you're going to have to let the pages load. Sometimes they take a few seconds to load. And here is this pressure ulcer prevention. At the top of the screen are the tools. You can get a PDF of the chapter. You can download it as PDF. You could print it and then see where the quotes are. Excuse me. You could get the citation APA style, copy that, paste it into your bib. So that is resources for finding books. Make sure that you watch the next video that is it's about finding articles.